Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in 90 speech, though he reflects upon the civil rights movements, states, in the end, we will remember the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. As a teacher, I have internalized this message every day all around us. If there were a principle to quote the same silence, if there were no genocide. As a teacher, I have internalized the message all every day and every day all around us. To recognize them, to name them, to understand, they don't have to be source of shame. In an effort to create a culture within my classroom, where the students feel safe in the matrix of their own silences. And I have 4 core principles posted on the board that sits in front of my class, that whichever students signs at the beginning of the year read critically, write consciously, speak clearly. And I find myself and thought as that the lowest point, tell your truth. And I realized that if I was going to tell my truth, to ask my students to speak up, and I go and tell my students, tell my truth, and to be honest with them, that at times there I would toil to the soul. So I tell them that growing up as a kid in a Catholic family in New Orleans, New land, I was told about the meaningful word could to do a sacrifice something up. Sacrifice something you typically indulge into the poor to God. You understand his sensitivity? I gave soda, McDonald's, French fries, and French kisses, and everything in between. But when I kept speaking up, I figured the most valuable thing I could to sacrifice was my own voice. But it was like I hadn't realized that. But I hadn't realized that I had given up for a long time ago. I spent so much of my life telling the peoples that I wanted to hear instead of the things they needed to. And I find myself out about mean everyone's conscience because I still had to figure out being my own. Sometimes I just say nothing. Approaching with my silence and with the validation doesn't need the words. The silence is on genocide. The silence is Katrina. It is what you hear when here are in the body bags left. It is the Katrina who knows that the silence manifests themselves in the discrimination, violence, genocide, and the war. In the classroom, I challenge my students to prove their silence in their own lives to the poetry. I work together to fold their spaces. And this reason, all the peoples are wanted to be his a human. I will tell that a human, that my students can talk about the transcendentalism, like with the last name Master. And I said that you can watch the episode of the world that don't have to be know anything about my kids. So this year, I gave the McDonald's, soda, French fries, and everything in this between. The silence is son of Jose and Katrina. All the peoples are being in silence. There will be no jealousy, no wars, no Katrina. But on here, I go speaking again. I figured the most valuable thing that I could sacrifice my own voice. It was like something silence is more than about these lines. We know everything about the lines is like the soapbox you are all even in this season. And like the soapbox you are even your own voice. You could notice that he didn't recite the silence. Thank you everyone. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.